Welcome to Texas.
Well, hello and welcome to the Lone Star State. We are in Austin, Texas for the final round of ARX, America's Rallycross, the inaugural season, and it's all going to take place here on this extraordinary circuit behind us, the purpose-built Rallycross track at the Circuit of the Americas. I'm very honored to be joined by Bucky Lasek, one of the most talented skateboarders in the world and pretty tasty behind the steering wheel of a Rallycross car as well. Bucky, great to be here back in Austin, Texas again.
Yeah, thanks for having us, or thanks for having me. What we have behind us here is actually turn one. I don't know if you're familiar with Rallycross. If you're first tuning in, Rallycross is a race that involves mixed surfaces. So right here we have turn one behind us, which is the inside lane. And then also we have the Joker, which is the outside lane. Every driver has to take that mandatory one time a race. That leads into this second turn here, which if you can tell anything from the first race here at COTA, that's where all the action is going to go down, right there.
And then they hit the jump so that we will see cars getting air and on the gravel back onto tarmac. So it's going to be chaotic. And of course, we have two championships that are going to be decided here this weekend, ARX and ARX2. So you have all the action live. Thank you for watching. Wherever you're watching from, make sure you share it and tell us who you're pulling for this weekend. So let's have a look at where we've been so far this season. We started everything off in Silverstone over in the UK. Then we came here to Austin, Texas. Then we went to Canada to Trois-Rivieres, the circuit there in Quebec, and we are back here in Austin, Texas for the culmination, the climax of the season. This is the inaugural one. It's been a successful season. Now, of course, there's a few drivers to look out for here. Yeah. Obviously, in the championship, it's kind of sewn up between two drivers. They have teammates fighting each other.
Scott Speed, Tanner Faust.
Yeah. But there are several people who could affect their weekend.
Yes, that's true. We have two new wild cards actually in this race, and one being Tappi Heikkinen. He's the new driver for Subaru this weekend. He's coming in with a lot of experience. And then we have Liam Doran, the British bomb. So don't count those guys out. It's going to be crazy because I know Liam likes to send it. So.
It's going to be very interesting because, of course, Scott and Tanner both want to put their name down in the record books as the winner of the first ever ARX season. But plenty of action is going to happen here, and you're watching it live. We have every single minute of the competition that's going to happen there live this weekend. Right now we're in the spotters tower, so the spotters, which are the brains and the eyes of the drivers, are up here getting ready. Bucky, we're going to send you over to Andrew Coley. First of all, when you're rallycross, when you're driving, how important is the spotter? These guys
spotters are huge. They're in your ears. They're telling you what's going on around you, what happened in front of you, and a lot of them are on the time clock, so they can watch the guy in front of you and they can tell you some goodies.
Okay, well, you're going to be telling us some goodies. You're going to be joining Andrew Coley over there in the spotters tower, and he's ready in the commentary booth, and he's ready to talk us through what's happened so far in the season of ARX.
Hey, welcome to Texas. Really looking forward to this. Bucky and Neil are literally just down there right on the spotters tower. This is our commentary box. Have a look at this view. Look at that. That's turn one right out there. The famous tower at COTA is just over to my right here, and we're looking forward to this. It's the end of the first season of America's Rallycross 2018. We're going to be crowning champions in both ARX and ARX2. So we're going to take a look at the standings and talk you through just how we got to this point in the season. So first of all then, Scott Speed leading the ARX category from Tanner Faust. Now Tanner won the first round in the UK, and then Scott won when we came here to COTA 1 as we call it, and then Canada as well. Scott won there. So Faust has been on the podium at all three rounds, but I'll say the deficit is about 9 points. Well, it is 9 points. There's no about it, is there? So it's a two-way fight between the two of them. Really, it's in Speed's hands, but I have to say he hasn't had a brilliant draw for Q1 here. We'll explain that to you when we see the grid shortly. Bucky is on his way up to join me, and we'll be able to talk you through in a little bit more detail. Sandell, Ken Block, Chris Atkinson, Steve Arpin, all those guys are here this weekend. Bennett is competing as well. Rennie Bunick not joining us this time. And of course, we've also got ARX2 here this weekend as well. So let's take a look at the ARX2 standings. So ARX2 is led by Connor Martell, who's invisible on this particular version of the standings, which is fine. I'm going to talk you through it anyway. I was going to style that out. I can't believe they've taken it away. So it's Martell, Brooks, Keys. Okay, there we go. Rimmer on according to my standings, there's a 1 point deficit there, but Rimmer is going to drop down from there because Rimmer is not taking part today. He's not feeling well enough to race today. But Connor Martell is leading and has taken the win at COTA earlier this year and both times in Canada. It's a double header in Canada, and of course it's a double header here at COTA 2 as well. So Connor Martell, could he clean sweep the season? No one's done that yet. You know, that would be another record. And Bucky Lasek has made it up here. Bucky.
Hey.
There we go. We're going to turn around and we're going to have a look at our little camera here. And you're certainly going to catch me at one point today facing this way, not realising what's going on. Bucky, so looking forward to this. You've had a quick chat with Neil already. We were here, of course, earlier this year without the World Championship, and we saw some interesting racing. I think there's been a couple of changes to the circuit because the lap times aren't the same. So I know Blue Groove, but also the Joker looks tighter to me on the exit here, maybe?
Yeah, it looks a little tighter on the entry right before the left-hander, just before the jump. I noticed that on the track walk I went out there. So I'm not sure how they might have pinched the little chicane section. And
at the back, that looks narrow too, doesn't it? On the gravel section.
It kind of does. So I'm not sure if they did it on the entry or where, but I didn't really get a chance to talk to the drivers to see how much the track has changed.
We'll try and find out from some of the championship regulars to see how it looked at before. There's a look at the jump, which I think has got a slight reprofile on it as well. So, you know, tweaking the circuit, which is cool to see, and I think we might see people fly the jump. The landing looks a bit longer to me, Bucky, so with any luck, and that's that section which runs back to the start-finish. That's definitely tighter than it was.
They might have stuck out that Cooper tire section in the center there. They might have stuck that out a little bit more.
Okay, so it's not quite such a straight run through there, but you can see the Blue Groove. And Bucky, for European viewers, we don't really talk about Blue Groove in the same way that you guys do in the States. So talk us through Blue Groove.
Blue Groove is the line that comes when the drivers are driving the same line over and over and over. Basically, you lay down rubber. You see that big black mark on the inside? That's the inside line. You get off that line, you're in the marbles, you're in the real loose stuff. You're going to hang it out there and lose a lot of time. So
only one line really through turn one, and maybe through that gravel section too. But we are looking forward to this. The action was great when we came here for COTA earlier in the year, and I'm sure it'll be the same again today. Okay, so we're doing ARX2 first of all. This is the same category that you see if you watch the World Championship RX2. There's a slight difference to the cars over here in the US. They're a little less silenced, which means it is extremely loud when these guys are buzzing around the track. James Rimmer, as I said when we look at the standings, is not here, unfortunately, today. Well, he's at the circuit because he was here yesterday. We saw him, but he's not feeling well enough to drive. So there we are, fair enough. Let's take a look at the grid then for the first race of the weekend here at COTA. Scott Anderson and Travis Picoy lining up on the inside. Alex Keys and Christian Brooks on the outside. Brooks, remember, in the championship fight, he's a few points back from Martell, but on the outside here, he may well have to take the joke lap at turn one. So we'll talk that through with Bucky. Revs are up, there's green light already, so on the outside, looks like Brooks has managed to get a decent start, but I reckon he's Picoy trying to come around the outside too. Brooks, though, a little bit of contact.
Pushed outside.
Yeah, runs all the way across the outside. They're about to use that entire section of time back there, and this is emerging. Now, Bucky, we saw when we came here last time, it's a pretty obvious split kind of off the start, a little bit like Linden Hill in the UK, where the Joker seat is right off turn one. If you're on the outside, you maybe don't get the choice that you would normally have.
You don't get that choice, and that comes in time when you qualify first and second, you get the inside line pick. So Connor got that, he's inside, and he's kind of walking away with it right now.
Yeah, Picoy up behind him. Keys and Brooks, look at the top of your screen if you're new to America's Rallycross. The little red line above the driver's name means they are yet to take the joke lap. So Keys and Brooks have taken it, and they're chasing down.
Picoy stepped, he took the Joker, he's in the Joker. Where's he going to come in here?
Going to lose
It's a really
one place.
fast line into here. Who's going to give way?
He did well there. Brooks did well. I didn't think he was going to go the inside, but Brooks now on the dirt with a bit of wheel spin. He's not going to hook that up. McCoy and Brooks side by side.
Inside line,
yeah.
McCoy or Brooks?
It's Brooks on the inside, and McCoy's ended up losing 2 places. So Bucky, those guys that took the Joker there, despite fighting on that first lap, they were actually really quick.
Yeah, they were. Really good job there with Brooks and McCoy, keeping it clean.
I wonder if coming off the start straight onto tarmac compared to the dirt, which is still pretty green at the minute, if off the start maybe it's, we do see some circuits. Norway's a good example. I say Lidenhill, there are some places where it works well to Joker on the first lap in terms of lap time. Anderson leads this one.
Usually the person out front won't joker until last, just to keep out of traffic, you know?
Yeah, try and keep some clean air. We don't know quite what the Joker lap deficit is. As I say, we think it's maybe slightly tighter on the exit than it was when we came here earlier in the year. And I'll tell you what, Buck, it's a little bit cooler as well. When I say cooler, in Europe we say Celsius, it's like 30 Celsius. What is it in Fahrenheit here, like 100 and something?
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty hot. It's humid. It's about to rain. It could have a little drizzle here shortly.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So it was crazy hot here, wasn't it, in July?
We have Martel, or Anderson, in the Joker. Where's he going to tuck in here? Contact? Nope, clean.
Down to third though, a little bit of contact with Brooks. Brooks runs with one. Brooks gets a big nudge. McCoy now trying to get a run on him. McCoy has a look up the inside on the run down to the hairpin. Brooks is late on the brakes. McCoy on the dirt on the inside. Brooks tries to get the undercut back again.
Nice.
Yeah, tidy. We saw carnage in that hairpin, didn't we, in the ARX2 final here earlier this year. I say it was crazy hot then, but super dry. And today the clouds really are looming. We've got potential thunderstorms. Looking checkered flag out. Keys takes it from Anderson, Brooks and McCoy. Nicely done by Keys. But yeah, we could get rain. I'll be really interested to see, because we had zero moisture here, as I say, in July. Just what happens to this track if it gets wet. The dirt sections could get really slick. So Rimmer with a DNS. McCoy gets fourth. Brooks third. Scott Anderson second. Alex Keys is currently the leader of Q1. So Alex Keys with a 2:38.787. Lap time here is really short. It's one of the quickest tracks of the year. And we're going to take a look back at some of the action from that first race. First race of the weekend here, big double header. Okay, on the outside look, in fact, yeah, it was a great start, wasn't it, by Brooks? Really hooked it up nicely to get down into turn one. This was McCoy trying to go around the outside in the first corner of Scott Anderson, and in fact, McCoy had to drop in. Brooks and Keys. So Brooks and Keys both got McCoy here, Bucky. McCoy comes in really hot, and I thought he was going to be able to hold Brooks off, but in fact, Brooks looked with just enough speed, even though he got that little nudge. And you can see what happens if you get out on the loose.
Hung it out there. He got a couple clicks of time taken away there because he hung it out in the marbles, and the blue groove is where you want to be.
Again, you can see there, so Brooks got mugged twice, didn't he, really, sticking wheels out in the dirt, and that gives you an idea of just how important it is. It will clean a bit through the course of the weekend, but off the blue groove is always going to be extremely slippery. There's our guys with a checker flag right in the middle of this fantastic circuit here at COTA. We're going to head to Neil Cole, who I think is with our winner.
Alex, first race of the weekend, and it must feel good to get a win.
Yeah, no, that was great. I mean, we had a little bit of rough time in practice, missing the first session this morning. Got out, the car was pretty close. We made a few small changes, and they were pretty good changes. We were pretty quick out there, so car feels hooked up, everything's working good, and ready to get some more of those.
Okay, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy enough. Little sigh of relief. As I say, not as hot here. When we saw the guys coming out the cars in July, they were so hot. It was like an oven in there. But full grid for this one. On the inside, Matt Karpoff. Then it's Cabot Bigham, Cole Keats in the middle, Connor Martell and Fraser McConnell. Fraser McConnell was quick here last time on his debut in Rallycross and continued to be quick, although I think he had a few little issues up in Canada. Whereas Connor Martell at the minute, fourth from the left when you see the grid on your screens in the dark coloured car. Martell leading the series at the moment with 3 wins from 3. So what can Martell do? He's in the same grid slot that Scott Speed is going to be in when he comes out for his ARX Supercar race in just a couple of minutes' time. We are good to go. Watch for the lights at the top of your screen. You'll see the ready to race orange light come on, then it's a random gap before the green, and we'll launch these guys down towards turn 1. They're so noisy when you stood behind them. It's funny how quiet they are from the front. Brilliant start by Martell and Bucky. We've seen Martell do that. I wonder if he might be able to shut the door and get into turn 1, if he's going to go straight to the Joker. He goes straight Joker, yeah. So Conor Martell leading the three guys. Bigham and McConnell have gone with him in the Joker lap. And look how close they get immediately to the back of the guys in front. And I'm just wondering if the dirt line on the inside is a bit slippery at the minute, because Martell is practically on the back of the guys who took the standard turn 1.
Yeah, with that outside line of the Joker, you get such a good run into turn 2. If you're not hooked up on the inside of the standard lap, it's going to be a battle in the turn 2. And that's what we saw last time at Cody.
Keats leading from Karpov. Keats a little way out in front now.
Look at Martell in the back, hanging it out there, but he's already caught up to him.
Martell's a class act this year, isn't he? He's been doing RX2 as well. Look at this, look, Martell having a look up the inside. So Martell makes a pass on Karpov, who hasn't jokered yet. Karpov drops a place back, possibly going to lose another place here as well. Bigham goes up the inside, so Karpov is having an absolute shocker here. I wonder if he's got a little problem, because that's a huge amount of pace to have lost there, Bucky, in 2 corners, unless he just got offline.
He could have gotten offline, and Martell was really aggressive getting inside there, so he might have pushed him out a little bit, and Bigham got a good run.
Okay, so Fraser McConnell now going up the inside as well, so Fraser McConnell passes Karpov as well. So I think Karpov maybe with a slight car issue. Either that was just a bit of a slow start to today. On the inside line on the standard lap, Martell, Keats coming around the outside, and I think Keats might have enough here. Keats looking up the inside of Martell, but Martell trying to come around with the bumper hanging off, trying to stay on the blue group, gets in the dirt. Bit of wheel spin for him, he's going to go backwards, tries to shut the door. Bigham and McConnell looking for a way through. Martell showing as your leader, but actually just in second behind Keats. So Keats leading there, and Martell, so Cole Keats has done a good job there.
Very good job, very good job. Aggressive on the entry in the turn 2.
And it's kind of a relief to see as well that I did wonder if the way the track was developing, that it was just, you had to Joker lap 1 if you wanted to take it. But Keats has proved that's not the case. So we can lay that one to rest, and it looks like they can take the Joker whatever lap they want. They won't be hindered by track conditions too much. So Keats leading. And last lap is such a short circuit here, Buck. You really can't afford to make a mistake if you want to be at the top of the timesheets.
Do you remember what happened last race at Coda between Keats and Martell, last lap of the race?
Was there a bit of a...
There was a pass.
There was a pass. Was it the one where they climbed up the rear of the car?
Yes,
yeah, there was some aggressive pass.
These guys are together again, out front.
Into that dirt section at the back, you can see there just a little send, flipping around to the left, around to the right, checking flag falls. Keats is taking it from Martell, so Keats with a 238.6. The drivers, a couple of them are still flat out. I don't think they've quite realised that the flag has fallen, so they were still on a big push around to the Joker section. Yeah, Martell's spotter needs to get on the radio too, because Martell is still fully lit on the braking zone down into the hairpin, and the others have all backed off. So Keats, the winner.
I think he just wants to get back to the pits real quick.
Keats the winner from Martell, McConnell, Bigham. Yeah, he's still flying, so he's desperate to... Whoa, Marshall! There was a Marshall in the road there. Martell coming through turn 1. And, sorry, we're just looking from the commentary box. My goodness me, Conor Martell did a whole extra lap there. I wonder if the stewards might have a word with him, because he's done an extra lap after the checker flag. He's showing us third, but let's see whether or not the stewards have a word with him about that. So Martell doing a whole extra lap. Keys in P2, Cole Keats up in P1. So Keats takes Q1. Our 2 championship fighters in 3rd and 5th place. Here's a look at the replay. So watch for Martell, that super fast start that he's got on the right-hand side. Goes down in towards the Joker lap. Fraser McConnell with a super wide line in and trying to get the undercut. It's interesting. So McConnell went for a real wide line down into the Joker. Didn't work out that time, but interesting. Martell a little bit wide out in the dirt there. That hairpin is so important, and this was Keats, I think, trying to get up the inside. The contact. So Martell lost a bit of time there. These guys were a couple of seconds slower than the first run was. Oh, sorry, a few tenths slower than the first run was. But they seem to be getting a little bit more used to the format of racing against the clock.
Cole, it looked like Conor was on a mission there. Did you feel the pressure from behind, or did you just drive your own race?
Yeah, that was wild. We got a good start. Luckily stayed to the main line and just trying. Conor had me clear and he just drove in. He was coming hot, so I mean I was trying to see what he was going to do, and I was hoping he wasn't going to spin out and collect me with him, but luckily we got clear of that. We know where we were struggling a little bit. The car didn't have as much rear grip as I'd like, but we're going to go back for Heat 2, but stoked to put up right now and see what we can do later.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Supercars are on the line. Looking forward to this. entry of, I think it's 9 supercars this weekend, but we've got a couple of people returning to racing in America, and of course we've got Topi Heikkinen. So Heikkinen is with Subaru. You're going to see him in the next one along with Liam Doran. These guys are championship regulars. They all raced here last time. So Oliver Bennett from the UK in the Mini had a good run here last time. Got a misfire after Q1, which they think they've solved. Ken Block, who did really well, of course, on the debut of the Focus RS RX in America's Rallycross. Atkinson and Sandell. So Atkinson and Sandell on the outside in the 2 Subarus. They've got to try and do something to get themselves out of trouble. You can see Sandell is running a different livery here. Demetsu, which I think is one of his partners. So you saw on the graphics he was showing in the yellow Subaru, but on the right-hand side of the grid, Patrick Sandell with a different livery on the car. Some different spec on these cars as well. I'll get Bucky to talk you through that in a minute, because I know he's close to the guys at Subaru. Of course, he used to be a factory Subaru driver over here in the States. We're looking forward to seeing Bucky back in action later on today. He's going for the celebrity race. You're a big shot now, Bucky.
Yeah, I'm a big boy now. I'm a TV guy.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's it, you know. Getting all the invites now, you with America's Rallycross. Ready to race. Here we go. Let's get the supercar action underway. Good start. Sandell on the outside, Block on the inside too. Bennett left on the line a little bit. Block will shut the door and take turn 1. Sandell manages to get the whole shot above Atkinson through the Joker lap. And there's a shot at the rear wing. So Sandell leading from Atkinson and Bucky. That's one of the changes that Subaru have made, of course, is that rear wing.
Yeah, Subaru found a few tenths in time by losing some downforce.
So that was Canada in particular, was it, with that super long straight? And I wonder how much of a difference that rear wing will make here at this circuit where there isn't such a long drag.
It'll make a big difference. They'll definitely see that time. And that's actually a wing off of their factory Subaru car, the RA.
So basically they're all taking a road car part and fitted into the Rallycross car. We saw them in Canada cutting the middle out of, how much was that rear wing?
That rear wing was thousands of dollars, and they just cut it off.
They did. They cut it off trying to find a couple of tenths. They stayed in Canada. Bennett through the Joker lap trying to get underneath Atkinson. Can't do it. Atkinson holding on from Sandell. But this was the corner for me that they were struggling with last time, was the hairpin, the tight stuff, trying to get the Subaru turned in. Ken Block leading this one with 2.4 seconds. Who hasn't taken his Joker lap yet. You think they've managed to make the handling of the Subaru a little bit better?
They have. I know they have. I know right now they were battling just those few tenths, and they got them. So now it's just
Sandell
just keeping it clean, you know.
Big attack through there, wasn't it? You could see the steering influence, that fantastic camera angle that literally looks down into the car. See how much he was really attacking. So Sandell trying to close the gap. He's managed to get a second on Atkinson. Concertina effect in that hairpin is incredible when they all come up close together. He's trying to chase down Block. So that, yeah, he's taken time off Block. He's down to 1.8 the gap now. So has Ken Block got enough to Joker on this last lap and come out in front of Sandell?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long the Joker is, so we're going to find out here.
We are indeed. 1.8 seconds. Watch for Ken Block to split off to the left-hand side. Remember, the races here feel super short because the lap time is very, very quick. Block goes Joker. Sandell on the inside of the red Subaru. Block's on the gas in the Focus RS RX. Just going to get it, is he? So Block deep on the brake, covers the line off nicely. So I think that gives us our answer. It is literally 1.8, 1.9 seconds. It seems to be the difference between the standard lap and the Joker lap. So a super quick Joker here on tarmac around the outside. It's really rubbering in as well. We can see from the commentary position. Block leads this one from Sandell. Promising pace though. You know, we've seen the Focus on the podium earlier on in the season. In fact, I think both times Block's made it onto the podium. He did indeed. He was second at Kota and third at Canada. Takes a win here in Q1 in race 1. But the Subaru's looking close to the pace. So might we see Subaru pick up that elusive podium? They're desperate to get one this season. They've got some new names to fight against here this weekend as well. They've got a new name fighting for them as we're going to see that in the very next race. Ken Block takes it with a 2:30.7 from Sandell, Atkinson and Bennett. So these guys going around 2 seconds a lap faster than the ARX2 cars. That's because supercars have 600 horsepower. Tidy job. Right, let's have a look then at the replays from this one. So good start by Sandell and Block. You can see Atkinson was just slightly tardy on the reaction time, and that gave Sandell enough room to shut the door into the Joker.
Exactly, and Atco, he just tucked in and played along until he could make something happen, and it just came through in third.
You're not going to do anything to your teammate, are you? And that's the unfortunate thing. In some ways, you don't really want to line up against your teammates. You'd rather line up against somebody else.
No, I used to dread lining up to my teammates. There are no team orders there, I know that, but you do want to race clean.
We are. So Block taking that one tidy job by him in the focus. We have another supercar race still to come. Really looking forward to this next one. Now, the next one, Bucky, we've got Liam Doran back. So, of course, he ran the DS3 at Silverstone.
Yeah.
But this time out, he's in the GCK Renault Megane. I know you were with us in Canada, of course, and those cars have got some insane engineering on them.
Oh my God, I went over and checked out the Renault. That car is amazing. The development that went into that car. They have an inboard braking system. The brakes, the rotors are actually located where the axles come in and connect to the transmission.
It's crazy. ProDrive looked at the rule book and they're like, this isn't a rule book. We can get around a ton of stuff in here. So that's what they did. But we've also got Topi Heikkinen. Now, Heikkinen's raced over here before. But of course, he is in the Subaru. And we're going to be able to take a look at the grid now. So have a look at the grid for this one. This is Q1 Race 2. There they are. And a bad draw for Scott Speed. So Tanner Faust, last time we were here, Faust got the bad draw. He was outside Speed. Volkswagen split their strategy all weekend, and that cost Tanner big time. This time, Tanner's got lucky in the draw. He's got the inside line. Arpin's next to him, then Liam Doran. So this is the debut for GCK RX with the Renault in the America's Rallycross Championship. Remember, they're regulars in the World Rallycross Championship. They're running 3 cars this weekend, 2 in the World and 1 in ARX. Scott Speed out in slot 4, and not ideal for him because Doran and Heikkinen, look, Heikkinen in for Subaru for the very first time. He's raced over here in the past. He's been a front runner in the World Championship. He's got 2 wins in Belgium a couple of years ago. So what can Topi do in the Subaru? And Topi and Liam do not have anything to lose. Scott Speed has a 9-point championship lead to lose. So let's have a look at this. Speed yesterday in the press conference was like, yeah, wow, not the draw I needed. Faust slams the door shut. Thumbs up from the marshal. Listen now for everybody making their adjustments. Try and get their launches right. Me and Bucky were down there this morning for a very free practice, and there were a few duff launches.
Anti-lag on, handbrake set.
Oh, big release and away. Arpin and Doran contact between the Doran, putting the squeeze on Arpin, trying to get him turned down, and a little nudge in the back of Scott Speed. So Doran there, I wasn't sure if he was going to try and go to the standard lap. Loads of traction in the run. Has another look up the inside. He's sideways on the brakes on the run down into the hairpin. On the standard line, it is Tanner Faust leading from Steve Arpin. A little bit of contact again. Liam Doran sideways in the background. Heikkinen chasing him. Scott Speed's managed to get what he needed here. So Speed now. Oh, look at Liam. He's really late on the brakes too. He said he couldn't believe how late he could brake in this Renault.
Beautiful car. Liam, I love his driving style. Hopefully he holds it back and keeps it fast. Otherwise, we're going to enjoy the show and watch him hang it out.
Liam's been in the car now for a couple of events in the World Championship. He did Lowiak, which is a circuit he knows well, and the team had done some testing at. We then went to Latvia, and they couldn't get the car to work right as well. But of course, coming here, there's not so much data available to the European teams. These America's Rallycross guys have been here already. But it's great to see Liam back in this.
Liam on the inside of Speed there. He wasn't able to get it. But yeah, Liam went over to Renault, and he brought his everything that he's a very experienced driver. He's been driving for so long. Look at him just slide it around there.
He's so aggressive, but this is one of the things in Latvia where maybe he was losing some time. He was having to drive around issues, handling issues with the car. Faust now coming up. Look, Speed has taken the Joker. Remember, there's Arpin behind him. What's the gap? So Speed is 2.4 back from Faust. If Faust went now, sorry, Speed goes now. Why Speed?
He's
Speed
2 jokers.
Speed's gone Joker
Speed took
twice.
2 jokers.
What on earth's happened there? So Speed has gone Joker a second time. So unless he just completely misjudged his braking into turn 1 back in, there's no rule against taking another Joker, but you wouldn't do it. Look, Doran's got him.
Yeah.
So that's a mistake from Speed. The championship leader has made a mistake. We were saying about Liam. Liam's been a bit untidy in Latvia, but hopefully they can get that car dialed for him. I love Liam's driving style, like you say, maximum attack everywhere. But this is now about Faust, who might well take first blood here. So Faust is going Joker. From the commentary position, we can see him. You're looking at Speed. There he is, lighting it up around the outside. Look for Speed though. Faust absolutely in the clear, and Arpin too. So Arpin comes out.
Liam on the inside.
Oh, a little nudge into the back of the focus, trying to get him sideways. But Arpin hooks it up in the blue groove, and Scott Speed is down in 4th place. So double Joker for him. Really would like to know what happened on. Liam has another look up the inside of Steve Arpin. Liam Doran is absolutely all over the back of Arpin, the British bomb. And Arpin, of course, haven't raced together this season because the focus wasn't at Silverstone when Liam was there. Had a great fight with Scott Speed. He was in the Citroen. There's Faust. Yes, Tanner. Sideways over the line. Arpin with a great result as well. Ken Block's time of 2:30.7 has been beaten very well indeed by Tanner Faust. 3 seconds faster in the Beetle. 2:27.6. Q1 goes to Tanner Faust. The championship chase is on. Good job by him. Scott Speed with a very strange double joker. We'll try and take a look at the replays and see, maybe Bucky can see if he just missed his braking point or something, or we don't know.
From what I saw, he was way too hot. I don't even think he had it in his mind that he was going to take the standard lap.
So well, we'll find out. We will find out before Q2. Faust, as I say, wins Q1 from Arpin, Doran. That's great results for both of those guys. Ken Block beat by his teammate this time out. Scott Speed down in 5th. Sandell, Atkinson and Hakkinen. Now remember, if Tanner were to finish qualifying like that, he would take 4 or 5 points off Scott Speed just in the qualifying stages. But Speed is a class act and he will fight back from that. Long way to go yet. Okay, here's the replays then. So look at Speed's reaction time. Absolutely stunning on the outside. Faust as well. Speed always knew he was going to go check. A little nudge from Liam.
Yeah, Speed has actually been working with this app that I hear about that helps with his reaction time.
Really?
Well, now he needs an app for the Joker.
Yeah, he does. Get working on that app, developers. We need a Joker Lap app. I'm always amazed that the drivers don't have some sort of an indicator in the car to remind them if they have or have not Joker.
They do. They have a spotter.
Well, they do, yeah. No, but on this occasion, it wouldn't have helped because he went twice. I mean, you know, you go twice, you've got to. If you begin, it's a penalty in America's Rallycross and World Rallycross. If you jump the start, you have to take the Joker Lap again. And Speed, for some reason, took the Joker Lap twice this time. Liam Doran having a look at Arpin, couldn't quite make it stick, but Doran looking very racy indeed in the GCK. McGann, fantastic first session for ARX.
Tanner, great to get an early heat win and very good for the championship. Talk us through that race.
Yeah, the track is getting faster and faster. If we can just keep on laying down the laps, get good launches, you know, just do what we have to do to try to close in on Scott. 9 points is a lot to make up in one round. But if we can keep repeating, wash and repeat what we just did, maybe we got a chance.
Do you know why Scott took 2 jokers in that race?
I don't. I didn't know that, but maybe there was some contact in the chicane and he had no choice, couldn't get back in, but he doesn't make mistakes like that, so it must have been something wrong.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Well, that's kind of what we thought as well. Bucky says he needs an app. You need an app for Joker Labs.
I was searching for one now for him. I was going to send it to him.
But yeah, so that's a mistake. And, you know, is that... Look, Scott's a class act. It's probably not championship pressure. It's just one of those things.
I don't know. He had Liam behind him, and it's kind of intimidating.
Yeah, Liam.
The guy's all sideways in your mirrors. He's probably like,
I want out of this. I'm going to Joker again. I'm just going to give him a bit of space. Yeah. So, okay. Well, look, there you go. So that's Q1 done. Speed's a few places back. Remember, there are points for the qualifying stages, for the semi-finals, and for the finals as well. Yeah, there's 9 points in between them, but no points are given out until after Q4. We've got another 3 qualifying sessions. One of those is coming up later on today. It is all to play for. Go. That is the fantastic Kota circuit. I've just sent Bucky Lasek off to jump into a buggy. He's doing the celebrity race this weekend, so it's going to be great for him to give us a little bit of feedback on exactly what this track is like to drive when we return for Q2. But this is how we stand after Q1. Tanner Faust at the top of the table. Now remember, those points there are not championship points, they're qualifying points. So were he to win all the qualifying sessions, he'd get 54 times 200 points, and clearly that puts them in the order for qualifying. So that sets the grids for the semi-finals. Semi-finals are knockout time. 3 from each go through to make it through to the final. Quick roundup of the format for you. So first blood to Faust. Look at that though. Volkswagen, Ford and GCK McGann at the top of the table there. Then Ford, Volkswagen, the 3 Subarus at the bottom of the table. So they will want to go a little bit quicker in Q2. ARX2, of course, finished for its first qualifying session as well. This is where they stand. Cole Keats taking the win from Alex Keys and Connor Martell. Scott Anderson, Christian Brooks. Remember, in this one, the championship fight is between Connor Martell, who's in P3, and Brooks, who is down in... where's Brooks? He's P5 at the moment. He's only 7 points behind in terms of the championship. So he obviously wants to try and beat Martell in the qualifying stages. Martell would love to continue his sweep of wins. He's won every event so far this season in ARX2. Can Martell Montreal, get a little bit further up and maybe win some more sessions. Stay with us, we're going to have more later on today. Here is Neil Cole.
Well, the story of qualifying 1 is Scott Speed. The car's just come back to his service area. We will get to the bottom of why he did that double joker in that race before we come back. But join us in about an hour and a half's time for qualifying 2 of America's Rallycross here in Austin, Texas. We're waiting to see Tanner Faust's car come back in to the paddock here. So I wonder if they'll have a conversation or if they are bitter rivals right to the end of this competition. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks to Bucky Lassick and Andrew Coley up in commentary. But make sure you come back in an hour and a half when America's Rallycross ARX continues.